Hello, friends, and welcome to Wisdom Within Minutes. Today, we are diving into a book that promises a life-altering transformation in just 1 month. The book is 30 Days to Self-Discipline by Lucia Georgiu. Now, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the term self-discipline? For many, it conjures images of harsh restrictions, of forcing yourself through painful tasks and living a rigid, joyless life. But this is the great misconception we need to correct immediately. Lucia Georgiu argues that true self-discipline is not about punishment, it's about self-respect. It's not about restriction, it's about freedom. It is the skill of doing what needs to be done to achieve your goals, even when your emotions resist. It's the bridge that connects your dreams to your reality. So I want you to take a moment and imagine your life with this power. Imagine waking up and knowing with absolute certainty that you will follow through on your plans, that the workout won't be skipped, the important project won't be procrastinated, and the healthy meal won't be replaced by a last-minute takeaway. Imagine the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your own actions. This book offers a roadmap to that life. The problem most of us face is that we see things like procrastination, poor time management, or a lack of motivation as the causes of our failure. The book reveals they are merely symptoms of a weak self-discipline muscle. The power of this book lies in its simplicity and its structure. It's not a collection of abstract theories. It's a practical, day-by-day system designed to strengthen your willpower muscle over 30 days. Each day introduces a small, actionable step that rewires your brain for discipline. In this summary, we will walk through this 30-day journey together. We will group the days into 4 key weeks, each with a distinct focus. Week 1, understanding the foundations. Week 2, building your willpower muscle. Week 3, overcoming your inner resistance. Week 4, making discipline a lifelong habit. Are you ready to build a life of focus, commitment, and achievement? Let's begin. Friends, if you enjoy our free summaries, you can support us by subscribing to our channel or joining our membership. Your support allows us to create more high-quality content just like this. Now, let's get back to the summary. So let's start with week 1. The first 7 days are all about laying the groundwork. You can't build a strong house on a weak foundation, and the same is true for self-discipline. This week is about understanding what discipline truly is and setting the stage for success. Day 1 is about understanding self-discipline. As we discussed, Georgiu begins by reframing our entire perspective. Self-discipline isn't a personality trait you're born with. It's a skill that anyone can learn and train. The first action you must take is to stop telling yourself, "I'm just not a disciplined person." Instead, you must adopt the mindset, "I am currently training my self-discipline." This small shift in language is monumental. Days 2 and 3 focus on defining your why. Discipline for the sake of discipline is unsustainable. You need a powerful emotional reason to push through resistance. The book asks you to get crystal clear on what you want to achieve. Not just, "I want to be healthier," but "I want to have the energy to run around with my children without getting breathless." Not just, "I want to write a book," but "I want to share my message with the world and build a legacy." You are tasked with writing this why down and placing it somewhere you will see it every single day. This is your fuel. Day 5 introduces the concept of micro-habits. The biggest mistake people make is trying to change everything at once. This overwhelms your brain and leads to burnout. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey to discipline begins with a single, tiny action. Your task for this day is to choose one micro-habit and commit to it. For example, instead of committing to a 1-hour workout, your habit is to simply put on your workout clothes. Instead of writing 1,000 words, your habit is to write for just 5 minutes. These small wins build momentum, and more importantly, they start to change your identity from "I'm lazy" to "I'm someone who follows through." Finally, days 5 through 7 are about preparing your environment. Your willpower is a finite resource. If you spend all morning resisting the donuts on your kitchen counter, you'll have less willpower to tackle that difficult report in the afternoon. This week, you must become an architect of your environment. If you want to eat healthier, remove junk food from your house. If you want to be more focused, turn off notifications on your phone and create a dedicated, clutter-free workspace. Make discipline the path of least resistance. So, to recap week 1, the key lesson is that self-discipline is a trainable skill fueled by a powerful why. You begin not with massive heroic efforts, but by building an identity of consistency through tiny, manageable habits and designing an environment that supports your goals. Now we come to the second week. With our foundation in place, it's time to start the real training. This week is about actively exercising your willpower and building mental toughness through specific daily practices. Day 8 is about embracing discomfort. The author makes it clear, growth and comfort do not coexist. Your mind is designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain, which is why you instinctively reach for your phone instead of your running shoes. The task for this day is to intentionally do something that is slightly uncomfortable. This could be taking a cold shower for 30 seconds, waking up 15 minutes earlier than usual, or doing one extra set at the gym. By willingly stepping into discomfort, you teach your brain that you are in charge, not your fleeting feelings. Days 9 and 10 introduce the power of planning and prioritizing. Discipline doesn't mean working harder, it means working smarter. On day 9, you are tasked with planning your next day the night before. This simple act eliminates decision fatigue. When you wake up, you don't waste mental energy deciding what to do. You simply execute the plan. Then, on day 10, you learn to prioritize. You must identify the one most important thing for your day. This is the task that, if completed, will make the biggest impact on your goals. You are to tackle this task first, before the distractions of the day can pull you away. Day 12 brings in a crucial concept: practicing delayed gratification. This is the absolute bedrock of self-control. Our modern world is built on instant gratification: fast food, on-demand streaming, social media likes. To counteract this, you must practice waiting. The book suggests a simple exercise. When you feel the urge to check your phone, wait 5 minutes. When you want to buy something online, wait 24 hours. This creates a space between impulse and action, giving your rational mind a chance to take back control. Day 15 is about rewarding your efforts. This is a critical step that many people miss. If the journey is all struggle and no reward, you will eventually quit. However, the reward must be aligned with your goals. If you're trying to eat healthy, don't reward a week of good eating with a giant pizza. Instead, the reward could be a new cookbook, a relaxing bath, or an hour of guilt-free reading. The task is to schedule these rewards to celebrate your small victories and reinforce the positive behavior. Let's do a mini summary of week 2. The core lesson here is to actively train your willpower. You do this by intentionally embracing discomfort, planning your days with clear priorities, mastering the art of delayed gratification, and creating a system of positive reinforcement to celebrate your progress. Now that our mind is getting stronger and our habits are taking shape, we move into week 3. This is where we confront the biggest enemy of self-discipline, our own internal resistance. Lucia Georgiu calls this the inner saboteur, that voice in your head that whispers, "Do it later," "You're too tired," or "You deserve a break." Day 16 teaches you to observe, not fight resistance. When that voice of procrastination appears, our instinct is to fight it, which is exhausting. The book suggests a different approach, one inspired by mindfulness. Your task is to simply acknowledge the voice. Say to yourself, "Ah, there's the feeling of resistance. I see you." By observing it as a separate entity, you rob it of its power. You realize that you are not the voice, you are the one who hears the voice, and you can choose to act anyway. Day 18 is about limiting your excuses. The inner saboteur is a master of excuses. For this day's task, you need to become a detective. Carry a small notebook or use an app on your phone, and for one full day, write down every single excuse that pops into your head. At the end of the day, review the list. You will be amazed at the patterns you find. Maybe you always feel too tired around 3 p.m. Maybe you always think you don't have time in the morning. Once you understand your patterns, you can create strategies to overcome them. Day 20 focuses on shifting your mindset with language. The words you use shape your reality. This day is about upgrading your internal dialogue. The book introduces powerful mindset reframes. Instead of saying, "I have to go to the gym," you say, "I get to move my body." Instead of saying, "I'm punishing myself with this diet," you say, "I'm fueling my body with healthy food." This isn't just positive thinking. It's about changing your perception of the task from a burden to an opportunity. Your task is to consciously practice these reframes throughout the day. Day 22 introduces the concept of forgiveness and the never miss twice rule. You will have bad days. You will slip up. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who fails is how they handle these moments. An undisciplined person might skip one workout and then give up for the rest of the month. The disciplined person forgives themselves for the slip-up and gets right back on track the next day. The rule is simple. You might miss one day, but you never miss 2 days in a row. This prevents one small mistake from derailing all your progress. So to recap week 3, this week is about winning the inner battle. You learn to overcome resistance not by fighting it, but by observing it. You expose your own patterns of excuses, reframe your internal dialogue from one of obligation to one of opportunity, and you learn the crucial art of self-forgiveness with the never miss twice rule. We have now arrived at the final week. The goal of this week is to transition from a 30-day challenge to a sustainable, lifelong practice. It's about cementing your new identity and ensuring these changes stick for good. Day 25 is about visualizing your success. Every morning for 5 minutes, before you check your phone or get lost in the day, your task is to close your eyes and visualize your why. See yourself crossing the finish line of that marathon. Feel the pride of holding your published book. Experience the vibrant health you've been working towards. This daily practice connects you emotionally to your goals and reminds your subconscious what you are working for, making it easier to make disciplined choices throughout the day. Day 27 focuses on accountability. It's easy to break a promise to yourself, but it's much harder to break a promise to someone else. On this day, you are encouraged to find an accountability partner. This could be a friend, a family member, or a mentor. Share your goals with them and ask them to check in on your progress weekly. The simple act of knowing someone else is aware of your commitments can dramatically increase your follow-through. Day 29 is about tracking your progress. What gets measured gets managed. You need to have a clear visual representation of your consistency. This can be as simple as putting an X on a calendar for every day you complete your micro-habit. This creates a chain of success. As the chain gets longer, you'll feel a powerful psychological urge not to break it. It provides tangible proof that your small daily efforts are adding up to something significant. Finally, day 30 is a day of reflection and celebration. On this final day, your task is to look back at the past 30 days. Review your notes. Acknowledge how far you've come. You are not the same person you were on day 1. Celebrate this achievement in a meaningful way. But the book stresses that this is not a finish line. It is a lifestyle. The goal was never just to be disciplined for 30 days. The goal was to use these 30 days to build the systems, mindset, and identity of a disciplined person for the rest of your life. The mini summary for our final week is this. To make discipline permanent, you must stay emotionally connected to your goals through visualization, create external support through accountability, maintain momentum by tracking your progress, and finally, reflect on and celebrate your transformation to solidify your new identity. So there you have it, the powerful framework from 30 Days to Self-Discipline by Lucia Georgiu. We started by correcting a fundamental misunderstanding that discipline is not a punishment to be endured, but a skill of self-respect to be cultivated. We journeyed through the 4 critical weeks of transformation. We laid the foundation by finding our why and starting with micro-habits. We actively trained our willpower muscle by embracing discomfort and delaying gratification. We learned to win the battle against our inner resistance by observing our excuses and reframing our thoughts. And finally, we cemented these changes, turning a 30-day challenge into a lifelong identity. The ultimate promise of this book is not just about getting more done. It's about building a deep and unshakable trust in yourself. It's the confidence that comes from knowing that when you make a promise to yourself, you will keep it. You become the kind of person who can do hard things. And as Lucia Georgiu concludes, when you build that level of trust in yourself, you become unstoppable. So friends, this was our summary for today. What did you think? Which daily practice from this book resonates with you the most? Please let us know in the comments. Thank you for listening to the summary until the end.